Okay, you have some audio now? Tell me if you can hear me. I just forgot to turn on the mic. If you can hear me, tell me, right? Should work now. I just forgot to enable the mic because when I'm recording for tutorials, I actually don't record the audio. Good to go. Good. Okay. I'm just gonna cut the feedback. There you go. Yeah. What I was saying is, I actually kill the audio when I'm recording for tutorials because I record the sound afterwards after during editing. So I just forgot to put on the mic. It's good now. Cool. Hi guys. Welcome on the live. So as I was saying, I'm sorry, I haven't spoken English for quite some time, so there's gonna be just a few minutes for me to find my words. As I was saying, I'm painting these guys up. I've had them for quite some time, at least 2 years, I think, and didn't find time to, the occasion to use them during gameplay with my groups. So, but I want to paint them for quite some time. So just a few days ago, I started painting the bronze shields and swords. Now the bronze shields are probably not going to change much, but I'm definitely going to work more on the swords because these aren't done. I just put on the bronze color, but I want to make some nice reflections on them. And I don't remember how these are called in D&D because I don't actually really play D&D. I use other systems, but these are a race you can find in D&D. Obviously, these kind of snake people. You guys probably know better than me how they are called. In any case, I found them real cool. I think they are Dark Legends, if I'm not incorrect. I bought them like maybe 2 years ago from Reaper. They're metallic. They're quite heavy actually, and they're pretty cool. So I've got 8 of them, and I've already mostly painted 4 of them. Of course, these aren't finished. There are still details lacking, but I've painted most of the figure, like the main colors, though, even if details still have to be made. Yeah, you want to exactly. So what I wanted to do is there's a group of 8 of them, and since I'm not really playing wargaming, it's more for RPG meaning. I like my miniatures to be slightly different, personalize a little bit the characters, the miniatures, so they can be used I don't know, like opponents or different creatures, like different individuals. So I want them to be fairly different one from another, but I also want them to be used as a pack, as a group, and so I want them to be different, but I don't want them to be too different. So these 4 basically are very different one from another, and the last 3 of them are going to be like variations from the ones I already have. So I'm going to show you the different snakes I made. This one's kind of dark. What I did was research different kind of snakes, patterns and colors, and find cool ones, like dark ones, light ones, and different patterns that I could do on the skin to make sure they weren't too bland, because snakes are actually very pretty. So this one's going to be mainly black with a slight blue sheen, but it's not finished. I'm gonna do some dry brush afterwards with reddish yellowish underbelly. You got this one that turned out pretty cool. It's not finished yet completely, but it's based on a viper. Looks pretty nice. I like the design. So there you go, with a blue tongue and orange eyes, and this characteristic white underjow. This one that is yellow with stripes at the back. Still missing the eyes or the mouth colors, but there you go. This red one, that looks pretty nice too. So the idea each time is to do a tongue of a different color to match like the rest of the skin tone, or more to be quite visible. So I tried each time to choose a color that would contrast with the rest of the creature. And finally you got this one that's more of a green. I kind of nailed the eyes. Then again, the eyes aren't too small on these miniature, they're quite round, so it was easy to do. But this one's more of a green. I don't know how you call that in English. In French, it's couleuvre. It's another kind of snake. So basically, you got these ones, the 4 of these that are painted, and I got the 3 more that I have to paint. And what I'm going to do is variations on the ones I already did, because these are pretty different one to the other. So what I want to do is use the 3 resting that are left to be like in between. So I'm probably gonna do one of them, probably this one, because he's got a very different stance, looking quite like this one. Maybe a bit more brown, I don't know. And I thought I might choose this one to be kind of reddish, like this one. Maybe a bit more dull, a bit more brown, but with a red instead of a very black like this one, a stripe on the back, something more looking a bit more red, like dark red on maybe yeah, more of a yellow brown background. I got actually some images. I should open them to get a reference, and I got just another one, maybe some kind of green like this one. I'm not sure I'm gonna do another black. This one's gonna be the only one who's really dark, because why not? It could be a chieftain or just the odd one, the oddball. I don't want to do a very dark one, so yeah, there's probably gonna be a second one that's gonna be more or less reddish, another one that's gonna be gray with a blue tongue, just slightly different in colors. This one's pretty dope, but I'm not sure I'm gonna do another one like this one. This one's gonna be the oddball too, with the stripes. So I'm probably gonna go with another kind of green, maybe not that dark, not as dark, but another green, I think. What are you guys thinking? Can you guys see them? So yeah, the idea is to have them differentiated, but also make sure they could make a pack, a pack of these snake guys that could look as if they are the same family, or at least the same clan, even if there are some differences in skin tones. I'm going for something a bit risky. I both want them to look like individuals with different appearances, but also that it could look like a whole. So my idea really is to use the 3 guys left to make a sort of blend between all of these guys. So I'm gonna open a few references I have for the images. Where did I put them? It's somewhere in my where is it? I don't remember. I think it's on the desktop. Sure, it's on the desktop. Where did I put them? Snakes. There they are. Okay. So I got this guy. Yeah, this guy's pretty neat. Could go with this guy. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this guy. Okay, so I can't share the images because I've got them on my laptop, But okay, for this one, that's gonna be looking a little bit like this guy. It's gonna be more or less the same colors, but the pattern is gonna be different. Instead of having a very long stripe going all around, it's gonna have some spots. But it's more or less gonna be the same color scheme than this one. Just the patterns are gonna be slightly different. So I'm gonna go for this one first, I think. Uh, I'm not sure it's going to be a very long live streams. I'm just here to paint a few miniatures and get in touch with you guys because I haven't posted a tutorial for a long time. So I'm basically gonna paint a little bit. So either I'm gonna go with this one first, or I could go with, I got a few of them that I could do. So you know what, you guys are gonna choose. So either I'm gonna go with this one that's gonna be more or less the same color scheme with little brown, darker brown spots. The other possibility is to have a green guy that is gonna be like this one except lighter, but it's not gonna be the most interesting painting because he won't have a lot of patterns on him. And the other possibility is to go for the red guy. And the red guy, yeah, the red guy is going to be like this one, more or less the same like this one, but maybe a bit more orange and with a red stripe going down instead of the black one. There you go. So these guys are pretty much going to be, like the brothers of the ones I've already did. So, you guys tell me. Otherwise, I'll choose by myself. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get some water. Okay, let's get on. So, Tenzu 44, the third option sounds cool. So I'm gonna go with this one. It's actually the nicest stance. So the third option was this guy, like the red one. So I'm gonna go with something reddish with a brown at the back, but more or less it's gonna look like this one. Like the stripes are gonna be different towards the head, but more or less it's gonna be like his brother. It's gonna be a bit more brown with a more of a reddish and I think larger. Like maybe the more interesting one would be this one, but I'm gonna paint all of them anyway at one stage. So these ones are definitely gonna be the brown, the red one, like this one if I do it, or this one that's gonna be more gray, but with spots are definitely gonna be the most interesting to paint. I think the bland green, like light green one won't be the more interesting one. So I'm gonna go with this one, following your advice. Let's go. So what we need is some reddish tones, like brown reddish tones. So I'm gonna go with this guy. So it's gonna be more or less orange. Yeah, so I need some yellow. I need this. So this is not yellow, but this will do great. I'll need a red kind of color. What am I gonna take? I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take some brown. Oh, I've got the right. I've got this. No, tan flesh. That's not it. What am I looking for? I'm looking for another type of brown that fell just right there. No, that's not it. Let me think. So I've got tan flesh, but that's not the right color. No, it's somewhere else. Okay, so what I need is, I'm gonna definitely take some oak brown. I'm gonna take some fur. I think that's what I was looking for, but I'm not sure. I think I've got a reddish brown, some kind. This could do the trick. I'm just gonna, I'm getting a few painting samples. Yep. Hey, Ryan on the rope. Welcome. Let's see. Do I have something nice for the paints? I need another type of brown. I'm sure I got some leather, not the leather brown. I've got a very reddish brown. That would be really great. I'm not sure it's this one, fur brown. Was it the fur brown? Maybe it was the fur brown. What's the leather brown? That's monster brown. I don't care for it too much right now. That should be good too. So this is skeleton bone. Definitely need this for the highlights, because I'm gonna do a, okay, so because I'm looking at the picture of the snake. You guys can't see it, unfortunately, but I can. So this is definitely gonna be the lighter tones, but like towards the top of the body. This, yeah, fur brown. This looks a bit reddish. So this is the leather brown. That is a lot more brown. So no, I want to go with something a bit reddish. So this in between, I guess, and a dark brown that I'm gonna mix with a little bit of red. Maybe a dark red. I need a dark red, something like that. So I think I got myself the colors I need. I think these are the color I need, and there's, yeah, that's mostly what I need. Then I'll do some mixes. Okay, so I got my wet pad here. It's just, like paper, not how do you call that? Not toilet paper, but kitchen paper, wetted down with some parchment baking paper. And I'm gonna dab a little bit of paint each time. It's a bit late, so I hope I'm not gonna mess up paint too much. Shouldn't be too difficult to do though. So I'm not gonna put too much paint each time, because okay, so the painting is clogged up. I haven't used this stone for quite some time, apparently. I need a toothpick. So, what you guys up to? Shit. Crap. What you guys doing? Crafting? Just watching me? What you guys doing? Okay. The painting was clogged up in this one. So there you go. The yellow one. I don't know if you guys know the trick, but you know when you get those painting balls a bit clogged up, if you haven't used them for quite some time, what I usually use is a drill. I use a drill, and I'm gonna show you my super technique. I've like put on basically a tube that was containing vitamin pills, and what I do is I jam. So there's a hole. I can show you. So there you go. There's a hole at the bottom of the vitamin pill tube, and I've put just a chopstick there, half a very small part of a chopstick, and I just put it on the. There you go. I put it on there. I jam the bottle here. There you go, and then I can just use the drill to shake the ball. It mixes pretty well. So, Ryan, you are in the middle of writing a 5-room dungeon for your Monday D&D game. Cool. Okay. Yeah, I still have to do these, like you, Tetsu44, the crop rows. These are nice to do because it's pretty fast and you can get good results. I bet you're using cardboard as a base, cardboard corrugations, right? It's a nice way. I wanted to make these for a long time. I still haven't made mine. So what did I just? Ah, yeah, this one. Up, there you go. Nah, it's those furrows of plants you see in the countryside. Furrows of plants. Crop rows. Small segment, a bunch of similar meaty stacked. Yeah, corrugated cardboard. Yeah. Yeah, it's a nice way to do the rows pretty easily. You put on some, you know, some white glue and some soil, some sand or stuff like that. You can base coat it and put on some tufts and stuff like that. Looks pretty cool and pretty easily made. If you want something simple, of course. Every time you want to do something complex, it's more difficult. But yeah, I still have to do mine. Wanted to do these for a long time. I think I've seen like years ago tutorial by Mel from the Terran Tutor, and since then I wanted to do mine, but still haven't done them. Oh yeah, what you can do is use PVA on the other side to get it back into shape. It'll warp in the other way. You can do that when the other side is cured. Should do the trick. Could help at least. Okay, so I got myself some nice looking colors there. Okay, so I'm gonna start painting this using my favorite brush. So is it this one or this one? Huh. I got two favorite brushes, apparently. So yeah, this one's nice. I like this brush. It's really a shitty brush, but what I like about it is that it's curved. It's curved because it's a shitty brush and that I've abused it for quite some time. And you know, it came out bent because of, you know, standing in a on the top down, you know, in the water tank like this. And what is really nice about it is that it's curved, so you can actually put very little paint and you can actually see what you're doing. So for doing eyes, I really love this kind of it's not even that thin, you know, but being curved, it's really useful when you want to see what you're doing, like when you want to put some eyes on, you know, very tiny eyes. uh, you can be very precise because you can see what you're doing. It's not hiding, you know, because it's not straight. I really like these kind of brushes. So I'm gonna go with the paints. I'm gonna show you Carmen because you wrote shitty, so it was moderated. Yeah. So, so I'm gonna go with red for the base. So I'm gonna mix a little bit of this, a little bit of that. What color is he going to be on the belly though? Yeah, I'm gonna go with the belly is gonna be okay. So I'm gonna go with something in between for the belly, because then there's gonna be. So I'm gonna go with something like this, I guess, for the belly. A bit lighter. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the belly. Yep. There's gonna be some shadows and some highlights. In any case, I'll always be able to change my mind afterwards. But for now, I'm gonna go with this. The other one had a very clear belly though, but I don't want them to be too similar, one to the other, one from the other. I'm not being overly precise for now, I don't really care. Because this is just the first color to be put. By the way, I'm no expert painter, right? So you guys will probably not be complexed by my painting. Okay, so for now I'm doing just a rough job. I don't really care. I'm gonna blend in the rest of. Oh, wait, I'm missing something. There we go. Where are you? Well, I think I have. To answer your question, Ryan, I think I have enabled the cursing filter, but because I think I have enabled it by default just to avoid like shitty posts or something, or trolls, or I don't know. I could remove it, but you know what? I'm not gonna bother doing it. But it was just in case I chose that when I saw the option, just in case I got some trolls, you know, raging trolls, being just, you know, very vulgar on the chat. But okay, so I've got the belly done. It was pretty fast. Well, it's just the base color, but I'm gonna do prettier stuff afterwards. But what I'm gonna want to do is really the base skin color for now. Cartoon colors in a wash. Well, I'm definitely gonna use some washes and some highlights. I'm not gonna go over the top with these guys, because these aren't meant for players, or these aren't like bosses or anything like that. But I'm still gonna try to do something nice, but nothing too fancy either. Okay, so. But they're mostly gonna be like the other ones. The other ones are mainly, finished, except for the heads that aren't done, so. Nothing too fancy. I'm just, I'm just painting my miniatures and talking to you guys, but it's nothing over the top, quality-wise. I'm not a painter. But I really enjoy painting miniatures. Haven't painted miniatures for a long time. Well, I've started painting miniatures these past 2 years a little bit, but before that, and I haven't painted a lot of them. I've actually painted quite some, maybe at least 150 miniatures the past 2 years. But before that, I hadn't painted for 15 years. So so yeah, I'm not experienced in any way. I'm just having fun and painting miniatures for the game. These ones aren't gonna be used anytime soon, but I'll show you guys miniatures that are gonna be used on Saturday, because I'm doing a home game on Saturday, and I painted a few miniatures. They aren't finished, by the way. I'm painting these UNT that I'm not gonna be use anytime soon, but I still haven't finished painting the other ones that I'm gonna use on Saturday. Go figure out the logic, right? Now the setup I have for you guys to see the stuff isn't the best one for me to see the miniature correctly, so hope I'm not gonna do too much of a mess. For now it's easy. I'm just filling out with the color. Just mustn't miss any spots. Okay, so he's gonna have some leather straps on his arm towards the shield. Shit, I don't see it. I must choose between seeing the snake and seeing the chat. That sucks. There you go. So you guys are talking. Yep. Okay. So yeah, now for this Saturday, my group, my group of players for which I'm DM, are actually gonna face some deep ones, or similar type of creatures. They are on the coast. It's a Viking themed RPG, and they are on the coasts, in a ship, not a shipyard, shipwreck yard, like a zone a place where there are a lot of reefs and a lot of broken ships. We're there to gather some resources, some lichens. I don't know if you call that in English. Lichens growing up on stones near the coast. Precious lichens that are used by Vikings to do some color pigments for textile, and they are there to gather this hard to find lichen. that can be processed into color, you know, for sails, to taint sails for the ships. And they are basically on the territory of some deep ones, or kind of deep ones. So they're about to get attacked at nighttime. So I've actually painted miniatures. I'm gonna finish the red on this guy and then I'm gonna show you. I've painted some miniatures from the Hellboy board game. I'm a huge fan of Hellboy right here. And I've participated on the Kickstarter of the Hellboy board game. So I received the board game with a shit ton of miniature. And I basically used the frog guys, you know. And these are going to be used as my deep ones. They look pretty cool. I'm going to show you just when I finish putting on the red on this guy. I'm doing a very sloppy job, but you know, it's just the first coat, so I don't care. And I'm going to do some blendings afterwards. There's going to be, you know, it's not going to be just plain red. There's going to be a lighter color on top. For now, I'm just filling in the gaps like a good little painter. There you go. There you go. Not missing any step, any spot. Are you using double-sided tape? Wait. I use to wash. Okay. Are you using double-sided tape to hold the mini to the stand or something else? No, actually using a magnet. All my miniatures are based with metallic washers because I like the weight it gives to the piece. These ones are also metallic, so they're pretty heavy. I really like my miniatures to be heavy. I don't know why. It sits better on the table, and I like them to be heavy when I move them. So these are metallic, and really a huge, vast majority of my miniatures have these metallic washers underneath. And basically, you get a very flat magnet, you know, strap, and it works to hold. But if I really shake it, it will fall off. But unless I really shake it hard, it won't fall off. So I prefer this because it's easier to take away, but it holds the weight. See. So I prefer this over tacky stuff. So if you guys consider doing bases like that, you could find some. It's basically tape, but it's a magnetic tape. And there you go. I'm not painting the armband because it's going to be probably leather, but I still haven't decided. It's probably going to vary from one... Shit, put some red. From one miniature to another. Mustn't forget the underbelly of the arm, the underarm. I don't know if you call it the underarm, but there you go. Seems about right, right? So I missed a few steps there. So I gotta get a little more brown. I'm gonna put some red. It's okay, but no one's gonna see it. No one's gonna see it. Yeah, it works nice. Yeah, it works nice. Yeah, most of my miniatures I have these bases. Sometimes they're really heavy, like big bases for bosses. I could show you a shit ton of miniatures that I haven't painted because I've been on a buying spree lately. I've painted a lot of miniatures lately, past 2 years. maybe, I don't know, maybe 150 or 200 miniatures. But I've bought new ones recently, so I got a bunch of them that are base coated, the primed I mean, with bases, sometimes a bit personalized bases, but unpainted. And yeah, you gotta paint, you know. Buying miniatures is cool, but if you don't paint them, can be pretty, can be all overwhelmed pretty fast. I'm sure you guys know what I mean. And okay, so this is a bit sloppy right there, but I'll do a better job with the highlights covering up the crap I've done, I think. See, yeah, right here, I'm gonna put some red. There you go. No one's ever gonna see the armpits of this bad boy, but whatever. Whatever. So this is done. I'm just gonna do the fingers sticking out there. Are you guys seeing okay? Like, is the image okay? Because my setup is pretty crappy, so I don't know if you guys can see stuff properly. Okay, that should do the trick. Okay, not bad. Okay, so now we're gonna start doing. Oh, I can show you the deep ones before getting to the next step. So these guys, same then for the snakes. These aren't finished completely. I'll have to finish them Saturday morning before the session. So I got a whole bunch of them, a lot more of them elsewhere, but I chose the ones. 6 are gonna be enough, and I'm gonna choose. I chose the ones that didn't have modern equipment. They aren't finished yet. There are still some clothes. Now normally these are supposed to be clothed because in the Hellboy comics, these are guys that are turned, you know, like the Odgru Jahad. Od, can't spell this for the life of me. So these are supposed to be guys that are transformed into these kind of frog guys. So there are remnants of their clothes, but I'm gonna paint the remnants of the clothes like as if it was uh, algae from the sea, and these are basically gonna be yeah, attacking the players. So I did like the snakes, like these are mostly like approach. The color scheme are, you know, close but not the same each time, like a bit more brown, a bit more green, etc. Just to give them a bit of individuality. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give them this band aid. I'm gonna use this band aid to make some nets, and these guys basically are gonna have some nets on the fingers like that. You know, I'm gonna paint the net for it to look a bit more weathered, as if it was a net made of seaweed or something like that. And they're gonna have this. I'm just gonna put this on the miniature hanging from the claw, because these guys are gonna attack with nets. And so the first attack of these guys are gonna be pretty weak. A bit sturdy, but the system I'm using is a very fast paced system, very deadly system. I'm playing very sword and sorcery stuff, so So the combats are going real fast. Enemies are dealing pretty much a lot of damage, and basic enemies are pretty fast to kill also. So fast, deadly combat. So these guys aren't be super sturdy. However, they're going to have the major advantage of having nets. So their first attack is to throw nets, and the players are going to have to make a dexterity check. It's not really a D&D system, but it's the same idea. They're going to have to do a dexterity check to avoid the nets. And if I don't avoid it, obviously they're going to have disadvantage if they have to attack with the net on them, and they'll have to do checks to get out of the net if they don't want to have disadvantages. Very simple mechanic, but I'm sure it's going to be pretty dope in game for these guys that aren't super sturdy. They're actually going to be a real pain in the ass for the players. And this can look cool. Also, if they don't manage to get out of the net, because they're all of them, there are 4 players are going to get attacked. Well, they're going to be dragged, towards the sea. So, some cool situations can arise, I'm sure. Now I can just see I don't have any towels, so I'm going to get a towel. So, now what I want to do is use this color and do wait. Because I want gradually the skin to become less and less red towards the top, and more brown and light brown. A bit of water. Mixing the colors before they are set gives a better how do you call that, transitioning. So I'm gradually going for a lighter tone. For now it doesn't look pretty much like it because the colors are really approach one from the other. But when we'll have all the values of colors on top of each other, then it'll look very nice. Okay, so look at that. Oops. Wait. Okay. Go for the lighter tone. Now this gives volume, see? It gives volume. Very diluted. For now it looks like rubbish, you know, but it's always like that with miniature painting. It doesn't look good until it looks good. I'm pretty confident. I haven't messed up the other one, so I don't see why I would mess up this one. Best thing you can do at the beginning is to go fast. And then, and only then, you can take more time to get everything into shape. Get something nice. What hour is it? It's 1 o'clock in the morning. Should probably get to bed, but I want to. I only work the afternoon tomorrow. I got work to do the morning, but I only got to work in the afternoon, so it should be alright. I can still paint a little bit before going to bed. Okay. So, oh, too much. I'm gonna go with this. Well, it's nice when you paint something organic, like a snake with, you know, color pattern changing, is if the overall color change is alright, you can't really do any mistakes per se, because it's something organic, so it's not overly symmetric all the time. You know, it gives a little bit of, I don't know how you call this, it's not about making mistakes. Was a little bold with this yellow streak there. Okay. And finally, we're gonna go with the lighter one. Now the lighter one is gonna be. Oh wait, so is that right? Okay. So the head's gonna be more or less this color also. So. See what I mean about the brush being convenient? So I can actually see what I'm doing because it's curved. Love this brush. I could just paint it carelessly over the eye, but I want to keep the whites because I'm not sure what color I'm gonna put for the eyes yet. The snake that is serving as reference has red eyes, but I'm probably gonna choose something different just to make sure it pops out on them all. So this is just the base color for the head. Okay. He's gonna have a different color inside the mouth, so I'm not gonna bother painting the inside of the mouth. There you go. Looks fine to me. You guys still out there? I'm gonna take a lighter color now. So I'm just building out the highlights, you know. Nothing too fancy, but should do the trick. Oh, shit, I'm going too light. I'm going too light. Ah, crap. Ah, shit. Abort, abort, abort. Abort. Crap. I hate doing that. Okay. Looks like I have reduced the damage. Oh. Thanks, Teju44. So what was I doing? going a bit too strong. I'm a bit careless right now. That's not good. Well, it's alright. I'm going for something that's tabletop ready, not award winning. However, I should be a bit more cautious. Tabletop ready doesn't mean I have to butcher the whole thing. It can't serve as an excuse. Cover it up with a blood stain. Yeah, I could. I'm not gonna do them battle damage, but it's definitely an option. But I didn't go for this approach. But yeah, doing battle damage character can be interesting. Definitely. In any case, the how do you call that, dégradé? How do you call that in English? When you got a color that blends into another, like a color that goes from very light to very dark gradually. How do you call that in English? French is dégradé. Un dégradé de couleur. It's how do you call that? A gradient, right? Yeah, gradient, yeah. I'm trying to do a gradient, but it's a bit late and my setup is a bit shitty and I'm a bit reckless. So the gradient isn't gonna be wonderful on this one, but it's okay because there's gonna be some very dark patterns on the back that are gonna contrast with a gradient quite a lot. So if there are spots where the gradient isn't perfect, it probably won't be visible. So you know, it's alright. Oh yeah, also I'm working on another tutorial. You guys might be interested. If you guys are following the live, you're probably one of the subscribers waiting for another upload of a tutorial. Well, I'm working on something that should come out in not too long, because it's something pretty easy to do. Hello, Benjamin from France. Bienvenue. Bienvenue. So yeah, I'm working on something. Could show you a preview. Maybe you guys could try to how do you call that? Guess what it is. I'm not sure you'll guess. Where did I put it? Yeah, there. So you wanna go? You guys want to see what I'm working on? I'm working on this. Now, are you guys gonna guess what this is? I don't think so. But this is probably gonna be the next tutorial. Are you guys guessing? It's not finished, so it's probably hard to guess. It's not finished and not perfect, but the idea is there. Yeah, that is some kind of golem. A very asymmetrical golem. because I found my inspiration somewhere. Really cool. And yeah, it's magnetic, so you can actually pull the pieces together apart, I mean, and then assemble them pretty fast. Can't see anything though. But it's not finished. Floating magic stones of a wizard thing. Yeah, it's some kind of golem actually. It's a stone creature that you guys might have seen in a show that aired lately. That is pretty fucking awesome. Based on one of the greatest movies. Well, if you guys haven't seen the show, I won't tell you. But you'll see when you see the episode. It's a golem, a very asymmetrical, cool looking golem from a show I've seen lately. And I'll show you. The idea is to do a miniature that is that can be torn apart in stones. And the cool thing is that on the table you can put the miniature on the base with the stones just, you know, tumbled upon each other, and then assemble the golem. So this is pretty cool. But if you guys are probably fan of Heroic Fantasy, since you guys are playing D&D, there's a very nice show that is animation on Netflix. That is made in a very old school way. In honor of the movie, it's more or less a prequel. I'm not telling you guys because, you know, I'm doing some mystery stuff right there, you know. I could just tell you guys what it is, but I'm just waiting to see if one of you guys figure it out. Before telling you. But it's probably not advanced enough for you guys to recognize anything. I just found this character super cool, this kind of golem thing. It's a golem, isn't a golem supposed to be... Yeah, no, a golem is a construct, right? So yeah, it's a golem. Because for a sec I was like, are golems constructs? But yeah, they are, right? They aren't like rock giants or something like that, or they aren't like elementals, they are constructs. So yeah, it's a golem, it's a construct. When will it come out then? I don't know. It's not gonna be a very long tutorial. I mean, I've just worked on it like 1 hour and a half to come up with this thing. It's pretty fast to do, you know. It's just some epoxy paste with some magnets and tin can topper parts there to go on the magnet. So it's not really long to do. It's not finished though. There are like pieces are missing, and I want to put on some, probably put on some green stuff on it to do texturing even further. Then I'll have to paint it, but it's pretty much going to be a fast build. So I don't know when the... Of course, I've still got to edit the tutorial afterwards, and that takes time, but it's going to be a small episode. So it won't be in a long time. I can't tell you guys when it's going to be because I've I've got to work aside, so it takes some of my time, and sometimes I don't have as much free time as I'd expected, but it won't be very long. Um, well, hopefully it'll look cool, and it's not very difficult to build. I'm unsure as if many of you guys would really want to build exactly the same thing. I thought it was a really cool thing to have a golem that you could disassemble and assemble, and mostly like the magnets enable you to change the stance of the miniature, and that is pretty dope. Of course, I know it looks really asymmetrical, but the character on which it is based is really asymmetrical. Like the head is supposed to be up there, see, on this weird type of huge rocky shoulder there, and then there's one arm there and the other arm here and the two small legs there. And I was either thinking about two different things for this character. Either working with LED to put on some glowing LED in his mouth, because it's gonna have his head there, and with the wiring going inside through the legs onto the base. But if I did that, I couldn't do the modular stuff, so I had to choose between doing LED shiny golem with a shiny mouth and this. And finally I chose the disassembled option because I think it looks cooler, because you can change it, you can tore him apart and have a base, like showing your players a base with your golem that is pretty much like broken down, so they'll be like, okay, stones, and then bam, you assemble him and it's a golem, and you can change his stance, and that is pretty cool. It's even so modular that you can actually pretty much assemble him the way you want. But the idea is to have this modular and movable figure that you can change the stances while during combat. What do you do for your real job, whatever that means, when you're a professional YouTuber? Well, obviously I'm not a professional YouTuber, otherwise I'll be, living of that. Professional means that it's your profession, right? I'm a teacher in middle school. I'm an art teacher. So basically, when I'm not teaching on YouTube, I'm teaching in school. The guy never stops. Go figure. Go figure. That's a cool job. Takes an awful lot of time and energy, but it's a cool job. Definitely not a boring one. That's for sure. That's probably the most important. Okay, I'm procrastinating right now. I think it's not good, but I think the gradient is alright. Even if it's not right, it'll do the trick. Yuan-Ti. Yeah, Yuan-Ti. That's their name. Of course, they won't be named Yuan-Ti in my game. They'll probably the sons of Nidhogg or something like that. Or the children of Nidhogg. Okay. This is good. This is done, right? Lots of energy with middle school students. Yeah, definitely, yeah. Definitely a lot of energy. Which, is good. Yeah. Once you get it, into creation, right? That's the whole deal. Being able to use all that energy into the... Well, actually, middle school is like the younger ones are super energetic and super enthusiastic. They want to get creative, and you just have to, try to coordinate their energy into something that's actually creation and not just playing. But the older ones can get pretty lazy, though, because they are really teens, so life sucks, Adults are crap, stuff like that. And, school sucks and stuff like that. But, how many players are in the party you're deeming? 4. 4 players. I like small groups. Well, small groups, like 4 players, right? It's not that small, but it's not a large group. So I'm gonna go with something red. Am I right on the red? No, I'm not. I need to find some good tone. That's more like it. That's more like it. Sort of dark red, browny red. Yeah, 4 players. 4 players. Amongst which my new wife. So, wait for it. Wait for it. Yep, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do stripes. So, hang in there. Now comes the fun part. The exciting part. So, I want to do them larger than on the first one. So I'm probably gonna have to go over it again for with some highlights, just to make sure that the pattern actually gets more visible. So the central stripe is gonna be larger if I am taking better consideration of the model I have, the reference image. Doesn't look as good as I expected. Doesn't look as good as I expected. I'll have to enhance the contrasts. Definitely. But it's alright. I had to do that with the other one. The one that is a bit clear. This one. The black didn't show as well until I enhanced the highlights on the back, so I'll probably have to do this because the brown I just made is actually pretty approached from the brown on the image, but it doesn't show as well on a miniature, and that is, that is pretty normal. It's nothing unexpected. So I'll enhance the contrasts just to make the pattern on the back pop out a little more. It's alright. I could go with a dark brown also, alternatively. Either way, I'll have to make sure it pops out a little more. I thought that, the clear part on the center would be enough for it to pop out, but I'm not sure it will work. It's slightly darker, yes, but not dark enough to be very visible. Then again, I'm watching it with a very strong crude light. Maybe with a toned down light, the stripes will be more visible, but I'm not sure. I'll probably either have to enhance the highlights on the sides or enhance the darkness of the stripes. It's alright. I'll figure something out. It's probably not the most fascinating thing to watch. Sorry about that. Just need to paint a little bit, and since I take time each time to make my tutorials, sometimes I think I'm gonna put on a little live because it allows me to keep in touch with some of you guys. Because since I don't post very, very frequently, it's kind of hard to keep in touch with my community. So here I am. And I wish I could give you more advices about painting, but I'm not that experienced, so would be a bit overly cocky on my behalf to give advices. Okay, so does he have some red on the head? This is way more effort than I expect for Tabletop Freddy. Yeah, well, actually, I'm spending more time than I should. I was actually faster with the other ones. but you know, I'm speaking at the same time. So there's at least a small part of my brain that's dedicated to the speech right now. Plus, I'm not talking in my mother tongue, so I'm probably more taking more time to achieve the same result I would achieve faster. But yeah, I still want them to look nice. While the other ones you see, it's not like I didn't just put some colors on them, right? I'm probably gonna go with a bit more brown for the stripes, right? It'll pop out better. I'm gonna take some brown. I'll probably do this off camera. I think I'm gonna end the live because I have to get some sleep eventually, you know. But yeah, in any case, it was nice talking to you guys. Hopefully, it wasn't too boring. And yeah, at least it gave you guys the information. I'm actually working on a tutorial. Not enough DMs. There's a group. Oh shit! I missed a shit ton of posts right there. There's a group at a local library that has 9 players. Holy shit, 9 players! I question every time I see them why they don't split the group in half. Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe you know, for some games, uh, you know, when you're a DM, yeah, I don't know. You do you, right? I'm more, yeah, I'm more confident with a little less players. I'm sure that every player is gonna have, you know, enough time of gameplay each. That's also why I'm not playing with the ND system too much, because I want something fast-paced. I don't know how long you guys are doing as sessions, but I'm doing short sessions of 3 hours. It's short, but with the right system, with a fast-paced system of combat, you can actually do a lot of stuff. And the more players you have, yeah, the less time there's gonna be for each of them to have a shining spot, shining moment during the night, during the session. So I prefer to have a group of 4. Yeah, 4. I DM for 5 once, I think, but I mostly do for 4. The last games I did was for 4. 3 is good too. 2 is a bit light. But I've already done some games for just one person. You know. Can be fun. 4-ish hours, yeah, that's more or less the the average, right? 4 hours is good. Longer, you know, it can be good. Depends on the group. Depends on the game. But over 4 hours can get pretty long, unless you have some, you know, really hardcore gamers. But my gamers are pretty aren't like used to role playing games. They aren't like hardcore role playing games. They are more how do you call that? Just aficionados. Well, I like it this way also. It's nice. You can pretty much see if you're doing the right thing if you're playing with people that aren't from the RPG world. Because if you do the bad thing, if you do it badly, they get like bored pretty fast also, yeah. So but yeah, four is good. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there because I'm just passing over the same stripes over and over again. I think I've reached my point of exhaustion, as you can call this. Yeah, I definitely spent a lot of time just doing stripes and the gradients. I should have finished the miniature by now normally, but it's all right. I was a bit tired, so I took my time. We talked a little bit. That's the whole point. Doesn't matter if I was super efficient or not. So, what system do I use? It's a French system. It's a D20 system. I could give you the name, but first, it's not a very known system. Because it was developed by amateurs, like fan of role-playing games that know many systems. But it's called Coureur d'Orage. It's a very sword and sorcery game. Very easy, very low stats. It's meant for playing action adventurers. There's not a big system developed around social encounters. So you can do social encounters, but most of the system is really based for combat encounters and adventure and scavenging and acrobatics and stuff like that. So once you understand this, you can actually do some role play pretty well. Just you don't really rely too much on the system for modifiers or stuff like that, because you don't really have some for social stuff. But the system is really simple, really easy to use, and it's really oriented sword and sorcery. So there are spells, but very little spells. It's really to play warrior-like, rogue-like characters. You know, it's called Coureur d'Orage, and you probably won't find it. Well, you can find it in French platforms online. But it's nice. It's fast-paced. It's really nice for adventure. Like for short sessions of 3 hours, you can actually play quite a lot with this system. It goes really fast when you play with the dices. So ça s'appelle Coureur d'Orage. Oh, you can find it online. I don't think there's any traduction though. You can find it online. You can buy the PDF, but it's gonna be in French. I'm not sure they'll have done a traduction. And anyway, there are many systems that are cool. I like D&D. I know the system pretty well. I've played with D&D, but it's heavy. It's complete. You can do many stuff with D&D, and the universe is great. It's D&D is a monster. And above all systems, but it can be heavy to play D&D, and it can be slow paced also. So I really like fast systems. So I got some of them. This one's nice. We're testing it for this campaign, and but I'm working on another system. For a very long time, I've done my own systems, like inspired by many systems, like mechanics and my own systems, and now I'm working on some systems I found that are fast and that I like. Yeah, French PDF. Yeah, you can actually buy the hardcover, the book, but you can also buy them online, download. But yeah, it won't be translated, so if you're American, it probably won't help very much. But you probably can find many other types of systems that are American that play just the same. It's just nice from time to time to have a system that allows you to play with newbies and just fast-paced adventure and having a good time. It's not crunching numbers or adding a bunch of modifiers. That can be cool when you know the system, but for a newbie it can be quite intimidating and actually breaking the immersion quite a lot, I think at least. So yeah, we're having fun on this system for now. We'll see later. I'm probably gonna bring them, one step after another towards a little more complex system. Still fast-paced games, but a little more, completed games, especially for social encounters or stuff like that. But yeah. Okay, so guys, I'm actually gonna go to bed to get a little rest. You guys take care. Keep on crafting, painting minis, and above all, playing RPG, DMing and playing. Yeah. And I don't know where you guys are on the planet. So probably mostly American, except there's one French. So you guys enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll see you guys later for another episode of Landvaettr's Lair. Maybe for another live some other day before. We'll see. In any case, have a good one. See you later. Bye bye. How do I cut this live?